All right, folks, today is Monday, September 18, 2023, and it's time to take another look at the $1 million portfolio. The market is closed for about an hour now, and about the only thing I can say is that nothing has really changed much for me from the previous month. So let's take a look at the portfolio and see how we're doing. Right now, we're sitting at right around $966,000. This is down about 3.5% roughly from the $1 million mark where we should be. But aside from that, the allocation is pretty much spot on. I have 50% of my holdings in the NASDAQ 100, 25% in long-term treasuries, 15% in gold, and 10% in REIT slash large cap value. So I talked a little bit about doing future dividends and whatnot into SCHD, which is the Schwab dividend ETF, as well as holding on to Realty Income Corp, which I'm not going to get rid of anytime soon, but that's roughly the allocation, 50, 25, 15, 10, and we're spot on. So August has been pretty volatile. September is really no different. It's really a sideways market for the most part. And we'll just continue to hold this allocation and see where it takes us long term. Hopefully it will be, it'll get out of the woods here and we'll recover to our $1 million mark. And then we can do a little celebration. But yeah, we're still in the drawdown for this portfolio. I think that the interest rates hike that has been happening over the last year has really had a big impact on this portfolio in particular. It's a double whammy because when rates are going up, growth stocks like the NASDAQ 100 takes a beating. The cost of capital is just a lot more than it was when rates were near zero. So any company that is a growth company relying on borrowing to grow has a tougher time. So valuations are going to be depressed. But along with that, because we're holding long-term treasuries, it's taking a beating, because the price of treasuries are moving inverse to rates. So if rates go up, the price goes down. And that's been happening since 2022, and it continues to happen in 23. So I actually consider, myself pretty lucky to have this allocation be as stable as it is with these forces against it. So that's kind of where we are. We are still in drawdown, but not as bad as the allocation would seem to suggest. I think this week is where we will get another Fed Reserve rate decision, and we'll see what happens then. But for now, the portfolio is, I would say it's relatively flat over the last month. If we were to take a look at the allocation itself, this is what it is, 50, 25, 15, 10. You'll see that, it's supposed to provide pretty good growth, over the long term, and it does. But when we go to the drawdown, we see that we're still in the last drawdown that started at the beginning of January 2022. It ended in September of 2022 and began the march back upwards. But if we look at the graph, we're not back to zero yet. So we're still underwater, as they say. So just a reminder on drawdowns, it's from the peak, the last peak to the last trough. So we can see that started right after the end of 21, so Jan 1st, 2022. And it went all the way down, all of 22 until about September 30th, and then it began to turn around. So the drawdown length was 9 months, but we're still in recovery because we have not hit the zero mark yet. So right now we're still underwater, and that drawdown was almost 27%. So it wasn't insignificant by any chance. But this is one of those things where it just happens, once in a generation. But if I look at just 2023 for this allocation, it's done, pretty well. But like I said, still has not recovered. I don't have this return because I've been writing options, and at some point during the year I was in cash as well. So, my returns is less than this, but that's nothing to sneeze at for a year's return, even if you are still in drawdown mode. Anyways, that's the update for the $1 million portfolio. I will see you back here for the next video. Talk to you later. Bye.